Okay, to start things off, I'm going to ask that you close your eyes and imagine the following scenario. It's been a hard day and you've walked for what seems like miles and things seem bleak. You're finally going to go home and give up when you stumble across a rock and notice something, a trail that's been marked by your close friend. You decide to follow it until eventually you find others. None of you know what is at the end of this path, so you all decide to follow it in a single-filed line. Eventually, you come across what you've been searching for, food. Now the only thing left for the day is to head back to the nest, give some to the queen, and put some of it in the storage room and call it a day. Oh, did I forget to mention we were ants just now? Now, I'm sure you've all seen ant hills around the place. Now what I want to show you is an interesting ant colony I found on the internet. This is a huge colony, and ants are so small, so how could they have accomplished something like this? John Crampton, a British ant expert, has stated in his book, Ways of Ants, that an individual ant is actually dumber than the average housefly. The answer is that they communicated with one another, and they built something truly amazing. Now, to begin with, we have to understand just how an ant communicates. Yes, they have mandibles and have the ability to clack them together and make noise and communicate, kind of like how I'm talking to you right now. However, they can get what they want said without a single word ever being made. Now, this may be strange, as the Merriam-Webster's definition of communication is an oral exchange of sentiments, observations, opinions, or ideas. But ants have decided to use a method that involves pheromones. Ants use pheromones to practically decide upon everything. They will drop them behind them while they walk. Even when they die, their bodies are set up to release pheromones. Using pheromones, ants can have just regular conversations or even play mind tricks on their enemies, so that way they fight among themselves. Ants will even use them to decide upon jobs that an ant will do in a particular day. If you can think of a way an ant could communicate, they use pheromones to do it. The primary use of an ant's pheromones would be to locate food. Ants do not have the tools we have. They can't simply type food into Google and get the address of every place that sells food in a 500-mile radius from where they are. No, ants send out search parties to locate food. On their way to find food and on their way back, ants will drop pheromones to show the path to the food so that other ants may follow. Think of it like you found this really cool cafe where you can sit and chill with your friends. How could you tell them? Well, you could post it on your Facebook wall or even write a review of the place for your Google Plus friends. The next thing you know, all of your friends are following the path that you just set out and meeting you at this little cafe. Earlier, I said that ants use pheromones to alert others of danger, so they can band together when they need to. When an ant is killed, its body is set up to release a type of pheromone that alerts ants of its death. This will let other ants either know to run away or gather together so they can overcome whatever just killed their friend. Social media is one of the most powerful ways people can show the impact of movements. I know plenty of women who change their profile pictures on Facebook every time someone starts a breast cancer awareness movement. Because we are letting our social networks know of the issues they can choose to rally behind, or they can go in the opposite direction and not do anything. I also said that ants use pheromones to have just regular conversations. This is a common feature on all social media, as they allow us to send messages or post on our friends' walls to have conversations. Now, one thing that comes to mind usually when I hear the word pheromones is the mating of animals. When the queen ant starts to search for a mate, she will release her pheromones, which will lead probable mates to her so that she can evaluate them. Now, I don't know about you, but this kind of sounds like a dating profile to me. Someone can go online, fill out a form, then prospective matches will appear, where then you can choose to date and decide if this person's right for you or not. Now, if what makes an ant sociable is its use of pheromones, wouldn't that make our use of social media just as sociable? John Crampton acknowledges ants as social creatures because of how they communicate with each other. So as long as humans use social media to communicate with each other like the ants do, we too can be social. So I challenge all of you to see just how social you can be. Find something that you want to stand behind and start a movement on Facebook. You might be surprised by just how many people can hear you.